Well, this is the United States that's now, for now at least, shifted its deadline by another week. This is a major trade storm that's brewing between India and the United States. What really the US is saying is that India continues to get its oil from Russia, and that really is the sticking point here, and which is why that tariff war that continues. But it is, of course, Marco Rubio who said that India's purchase of Russian oil is really helping Moscow sustain its war and its efforts when it comes to Ukraine. So that is the problem here. While India has gone on to maintain that it has to look out for its own national interests. What does this really mean when it comes to iPhone, particularly the export of it, as well as will it get more expensive? In order to know so, we have Sam Daniel joining us. Sam, how does this impact the cost of the iPhone, particularly as far as Indian-made iPhones are concerned, and the export of the iPhones to the US? Sam.
Divya, thank you very much. We come to you from the MCC Boyd Tandon School of Business in Chennai. With me, a set of B School students. I'm going to begin from her to talk about the impact of iPhones manufactured in India because of the tariff. What kind of an impact will it have in terms of prices for consumers? What kind of impact will it have on consumers?
Sir, I think India can survive its own ecosystem regarding the manufacturing of iPhone, but actually the thing is it can't do it that overnight. It takes some time. Maybe by 2027 or by 2030 they would come up with very best techniques that could make its own ecosystem, and it will be more sustainable, and the ecosystem of building an iPhone can be done
for manufacturing in India. If I have to ask you about the possible impact for phones made in India but sold in the US because of the 25% tariff Trump has imposed now, will it increase the prices?
Yes, sir, it will increase the prices. With the 25% tariff as well, the major industry which is going to be affected is the export, right? And also significantly textile, pharmaceutical, we are the top exporter to the US. Regarding, I think the significant dent will be in the pharmaceutical because we are the top supplier of export generic drugs to the US. So I think that will be a very hit because of...
Specifically on iPhones made in India, if 25% is imposed on these phones sent to the US, will Americans have to pay more for this?
Yes, sir. Because of the tariff, that to 25%, the profit margin is going to be very razor thin. So that I think it's going to be a very tough competition for us because all the exporters are also there. So I think it's going to be a tough job.
Right. Let's talk about the impact of the larger 25% tariff itself. What are the implications in terms of the sectors that could be hit?
Actually, I think the pharmaceutical sector will be majorly affected because India is the major exporter of the pharmaceutical products, and also if we look from the business point of view, the margin will go down and the consumers will have to pay more for the products. So it will also reduce the competitiveness and there will be job losses in the near future. So these are the basic implications that will be if we look on a broader view.
India is emerging as a fast-growing economy. Soon we could be the third largest economy in the world. Will that help us in any way, or will it be?
I think for us it will be difficult because if the tariff increases, I'm not very sure.
Right.
Sorry.
What are the options for India to overcome this?
So recently they have signed a free trade agreement with US, like UK. So it is a great impact for India in the export margin and things. And they could promote the startups. As our president and prime minister are promoting a lot of startups where it could give a major turning point for the Indian countries. And even other than one E, they can move on to other 4 E's and Middle East countries for free trade agreement where it could bring a great impact to Indian markets, and it can expand more. As compared.
What's your take on the US president levying additional penalty on India for buying fuel from Russia?
So, to be honest, I think it's unfair, sir. As our external EM Mr. Jaishankar said, we have a large demand for oil. I think it's fair for us to get oil from Russia at a cheaper price. Just because Russia is at war doesn't mean that we are funding the war by getting oil. I have a demand. I'm just getting the supplies for that. I'm not funding the war. So I think it's a very unfair penalty for us.
Right. What are the options in terms of startups? He was talking about nurturing startups in India. Will that really help, or will that suffer a kind of a dent in that sense?
I think from the early 2020s, startups have supported India in very much in growing the GDP of the country. So anything is not possible overnight. So startups are getting a lot of support from the government than before. So I guess it will of course help India in better
Will it
growth.
affect India's GDP growth?
No, I mean it will give a positive effect to India's GDP growth.
Right. Thank you all very much for your time. So, B school students sharing their point of view on Trump's tariff, possible impact on the prices of iPhones manufactured in India, and India's stand and take on procuring oil from Russia.